Hey, hey folks, it's Tricia Cunningham and I'm coming to you live from my kitchen tonight with Chew on This. So what I wanted to share with you tonight, we have 3 really good topics, and also I'm going to cook some food here. And I'm really excited. So with that being said, my husband just got home today. He's out there fixing the truck, getting ready to start trees again, and that's just crazy. It's February, but because we had that nice little ground-dwelling rodent named Punxsutawney Phil, he came out and said, I didn't see my shadows. Spring's right around the corner. Well, right around the corner was less than 24 hours, and it was really crazy. So I've got you folks on here, and I know there's a lot of you that are going to be joining in, and I love you all, and I am really asking you to get involved, ask questions. If I don't answer them today, right now, I'm going to after the show. I'm going to be a little busy. So what we have here right now, I'm going to do a fox, whatever you want to call it, a little cheat on something that I love to cook, but didn't have it today, but I did have pork loin. So I'm going to make something like, it's a stuffed pork loin. I usually use a flat iron steak, which is fun. Might do that in the future. But we're going to stuff it with some spinach, some cheese, and we're going to put some Hickey Bottom barbecue sauce on it and all kinds of fun things. But as I said before, my husband just got home, so he wants a quick snack. So I want to make him something, because he does have diabetes. Quick, simple, healthy, sweet, satisfying. So we're going to put in a blender some really cute little ingredients. Let's plug this little guy in here. Now, this is very quick, very simple, and yes, I'm going to have some too. We're going to take a little bit of orange juice. No, I eyeball everything. Do not tell me that I'm mocking Rachel Ray by any means whatsoever. However, I am like her. We kind of been doing this a long time. So we put some orange juice in here, and this is for 2. We're going to throw some, and I love this. This is unsweetened coconut milk, and yes, I'm so plugging Silk. There's 40 calories. I was using another one. It had all this crap stuff in it. Okay, so this stuff right here, I know you're not going to be able to read it, but if it says carrageenan in it, get rid of it. Anybody that has any kind of gut health problems, you have IBS, you have Crohn's, you have anything, gas, bloating, constipation, that could be a really big, huge culprit. How to avoid it, read the label. If it's in there, it's this carrageenan gum. And if you think about gum, it's something you're putting together to adhere it. And from what I've read and how I understand this, now that I'm going into that menopause thing, which is really cool because now I can talk about that and not have all these women say, well, you don't understand that. Well, guess what? Now I do. So anywho, get rid of that carrageenan gum in your diet, period. Read the labels. It's going to be in anything that is a fat-free product. That's why it all kind of sticks together. I've stopped using fat-free. One, it's higher sugar. I was down that trail too. And if you read the reverse diet, you read my book, you're going to see a ton of that in there, a lot of fat-free. Use a low fat, and I'm even using it in my yogurt right now, kind of to help with that gut health. You want full fat. We need it. You take all fat out of your diet, it's not going to be good for you at all. However, yeah, get rid of that carrageenan stuff. Anyways, let's get back to making the shake before he starts shaking himself. So we're going to put a little bit of Silk in there, coconut milk. There's no added sugar to it, which is awesome. You still get that Caribbean taste and that awesome flavor. And we're going to use fresh blueberries that we got here not too long ago. We're going to throw those in there, and then my favorite, tofu. It's going to balance it all out. This is going to be a product that you're going to see me use a lot because I love it. It's so versatile. It absorbs any flavor of any product that you put with it. You can bake it. It could be a dessert. It could be fried. It could be a fox cheese if you wish. I've made those too. I've had those recipes up. So a lot of people are intimidated by it, but it's a high protein, low fat alternative to a meat product. And it's going to deliver the protein that you need for a drink like this with the extra sugars in it. And I don't mean just sugars, but the extra carbohydrates. So it's going to help your pancreas and stabilize your blood sugars. So what we're going to do, first, it comes in a package, and this is all you do. You take it, you slice it along the edges, just like I did, and then you're going to drain it. we'll get to the point where we have it over top of the sink. And then you're going to peel it back. And that's what tofu looks like. It's spongy. I have the extra firm because it's easy to use. It's easy to cut. If you want to make a lot of tofu smoothies and things like that, utilizing this, get the soft. It just makes more sense. But we're going to slice this up. There's 5 servings in there, so I'm going to use this block. I'm going to cut it in half. Then force it. Throw all 4 in there. Take a banana. Woohoo! Having dessert before dinner. We're going to go ahead and throw away the peel. Break it up. And put it in the blender. And I'm going to hit liquefy. Pretty loud here for the About 30 seconds is all you need. Real quick, what you do with your tofu is get a container. I'm going to slice this one in half. Just any container you want. Slice it up, put it all together like this, and then you're going to put water over top of it because it needs to stay moist. Sometimes this is what I'll do if I have leftovers. I'll put like a beef broth or a chicken broth on it, let it sit overnight, and then add it to another meal, and it absorbs all those flavors. It's just a sponge. What it's made out of, what tofu is made out of, is soybeans. So if you eat edamame or you like soybeans, that's all it is. It's just a different form of it. What I like to do is get the homemade fresh, and it's nice and warm from the strip district down in Pittsburgh. You can find it just about anywhere in a specialty food store, especially Whole Foods. So let's go ahead and put the water over top of this. Put the lid on it. You're going to stick it in the refrigerator. It can stay in there for a couple days, but in this house, tofu doesn't last very long. So we are going to, got that guy out of the way. I'm going to show you how pretty this looks. Look how cool. Alrighty then. And sink's piling up. There you go. So we have the smoothies, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ring the dinner bell. Yes, folks, I have a dinner bell outside of my door because my husband's always working. You've seen the wood pile, correct? Right? Well, it didn't just get there itself. So he's the one that splits the wood. He just got back from fixing his truck, so I'm going to go ahead and ring the doorbell, and maybe we can get him to come in. I'll be right back. And he'll be in just a moment. We'll get these guys out of the way. And we'll get down to the dirt. So, we have had some really crazy things happen in the last few weeks. Actually, the last 24 hours. One of them being, there's a huge debacle going on down in Virginia right now, right? We have a governor who was coming out last week and on radio stations and radio shows saying post-birth abortions are okay. So basically when the baby, we're not even talking about the infanticide of 9 months, you know, up until the baby is being ready to be delivered, we're talking about afterwards. Total nincompoop. Total. I don't care who you are, unless you're Jeffrey Dahmer or Ted Bundy or a mass murderer or that crazy abortionist that's doing 99 life sentences in jail right now. Boy, if that ever passed, he could ask for immunity and go. You're torturing a child and you're killing a child, and this guy is the governor of the great state of Virginia. I had a child that was born in Virginia. I love Virginia. I own a timeshare in Virginia. I'm always in Virginia. Love Virginia. What you guys were thinking down there, not electing Gillespie, I don't know. However, you might not be too far away from getting a Republican governor in there. Let's see why. So we have this guy. We're going to have parsley potatoes, by the way, too. So I'm going to be cutting those while I'm talking. We have a guy in there by the name of Ralph. Not Northam, right? So he's a crazy guy. He's definitely off his rocker, right? So they can't get him out. Nobody's ready to impeach him or throw him out or ask him to resign for killing kids. But all of a sudden, a picture from a yearbook in 1984 just pops up out of nowhere. You know, all these opposition races and all these people are just throwing the ball, you know, down the court someplace they're not even playing, right? They never had this the whole time. Seriously, not only should those people be fired and never rehired again, which I don't think is the case, but at the end of the day, I don't think people want to bridge that topic. I think that's really what it was. So instead of trying to come after this guy and all of his party people getting behind him and saying, oh no, whoa, we're going way off the cliff on this one, we can't talk about that. So we're going to find this picture from 1984, put it up, and this guy's going to acknowledge that it was him, and he's going to say he's sorry, and he could have gotten out of it by going on Ellen and saying, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have done this, but he didn't. He got him up, and he did exactly what Democrats do every day. He lies, evades, deflects. That wasn't me. It wasn't me, right? No. Anywho, this guy's got to go. So he goes. So that was yesterday. Today, his guy, what's his name? Fairfax, Justin Fairfax. He's a black gentleman. And now he's being brought up on charges from 15 years ago of a woman sexually harassing him or her and attacking her, right? So who's next in line if we get these two bozos out of the way? Stephen Newman. Guess what? He's a Republican, guys. So anywho, that's a trail you can go down. Hey, honey, I got your drink. You want to come in and say hello? He's all nice and workman-y looking.
Yes, I worked all day.
Shh. Be quiet.
I'm okay. Very good.
Very good?
Don't disturb me.
Doesn't even know there's tofu in it, people. I told you. Anyhow, it's good for you. It's good for your pancreas. You know that. So we want to bridge that topic of racism. Should this guy lose his job because he posted a picture in a yearbook in 1984? That's up to you to decide. I don't know. And the reason I don't know this is because back in 1984, somebody along the lines felt that that was okay to put in a medical doctor's yearbook. Do I feel that we should be doing that today? Absolutely not. Do I feel that it was right back then? No. It happened. The 30s. I mean, it just happened. And it was okay back then. And I'm not saying that it was okay by any means whatsoever, but it was okay per se. Enough for them to put it in the yearbook, and nobody was asking for his resignation or his doctor's license, correct? Or his degree. So they couldn't get him on the abortion. They're going after him for racism. I want to know, Fox News, if you just got this into your station that night, the day after all of this happened, and this just happened to come out, why did you go after Obama's yearbooks and, you know, grade school books and other things? I just don't get it. But let's just go back to the point where I truly feel my beliefs. You have your own, neither here nor there. Bring this to the table. I believe that we are all human. We're just another shade of beige. So I don't believe in hate. I don't believe in hate crimes. I don't believe that we should judge each other by the color of our skin. I really don't like judging anybody, but if you're going to treat me poorly, I'm just going to walk away. You're not going to get my time, but I'm not going to come back after you. Unless Hillary Clinton was president, then I'd just leave. I've been gone. So anywho, racism in our country. We had a gentleman last week, Jesse, you know, a big star from Empire, claimed that he was attacked in Chicago by two men. And the story just kept unfolding. 2 o'clock in the morning in Chicago, saying that two men attacked him and said, this is MAGA country. Well, I got something to say about that. And I've said it before, and I'm not going to really go into it. But I see a lot of holes in this story. And I pray to God it's not true. I pray I'm right. I'm praying he made it up. Something happened, and he just felt the need to do this. I'm praying that it's not true. Because if it comes back that two people did do that, truly, I don't believe that they said anything about MAGA country in Chicago. That's just, a 2-year-old would know better than that. That was one of the only events that President Trump, now candidate then, he had to cancel the event because it was so hostile. That is definitely not MAGA country by any means whatsoever. But neither here nor there. We're going back to race. Go to the Super Bowl. A lot of people were afraid that there was going to be this huge disturbance at halftime. You know, Maroon 5, I think their name is. Please forgive me because I don't listen to all the new groups and things like that. Now I understand why my mom didn't know who Madonna was back when I was 13. I get it now. I get it, Mama. So the Maroon 5 and Adam Levine, which we'll get to here in a second. So Maroon 5 and Adam Levine and a couple other people were supposed to get up and perform during the halftime. Now we know there was a big debacle with the Super Bowl with the NFL players for the last few years and this whack job, and I'm going to call you a whack job because you can't understand that you're not being hired throughout the NFL because you were a bad player. It was nothing to do with you kneeling like an idiot on the field. Just my testament. If you want to protest, protest delivers. Protest mean I don't believe in this and I want to take action and I want to see something out. You have a plan. This guy's plan was trying to make a mockery of our anthem and our soldiers and our United States flag. At that point, you got what you wanted. So you could sit on the couch and eat your bonbons and your popcorn and watch everybody else play because you're not. So instead of going out there and actually kicking butt, practicing, doing your thing, can still protest, you wear socks with little pigs depicting police officers on your ankles. No different than any other hate crime. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. So you want to raise awareness. These guys last night, gotta give them kudos. They went out and took all the money that they raised and they earned from the Super Bowl, and they donated it to Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Exactly what I had said a year and a half ago when my husband and I destroyed everything Steelers that we had. Everything. And said that was it. When you put politics into a game, into an entertainment blocks, same thing with Hollywood. You move on. Don't deal with them. Don't worry about the negativity. I didn't watch the Super Bowl last year. Didn't watch the Super Bowl this year. The only way that I knew that there was the two teams that were in there was one, Trump tweeted about it, and a lot of my friends live in California. That's it. I would never have known any other way. Don't pay attention to it. So, anywho, some crazy stuff. Just some crazy stuff with that. But I want to give it up to Adam Levine and Maroon 5 and all those who donated their time. It was awesome. It was definitely awesome. So what we're doing with these potatoes is, you can see I'm cubing them. I'm going to make parsley potatoes. So we're just going to leave the skins on because the fiber's awesome. For you, I like red potatoes. I don't know. It's just my preference. You can use any potato you want. Yellow's good for you. The russet's good for you. These just have a different flavor to them, I think. And they cook up a little bit easier. A little bit quicker. We're going to go ahead and throw this up on high. And then we're going to talk about Adam Levine. I wish my husband was in here because he was one of the ones that woke up this morning in protest. When he found out about Adam Levine, he said, why is it, he's not the only one either, folks. So why is it that Janet Jackson got ostracized because her shirt came open, but Adam Levine can get up there and just full frontal, take everything off. Well, just his shirt, of course. I haven't seen it except for pictures my daughters were posting. So apparently, Brittany was really enamored by that. So they're protesting and they're asking, why, where are the equal rights? Feel that all women should just take their tops off and their bras and everything else and walk around just like the guys are. What do you say? I want to hear your thoughts on that. Me personally, I don't know. I was never a bra burner either. But I think it's pretty funny. Especially when you have and we're not going to go into this one because that's a weird subject I don't even want to discuss. And the Boy Scouts of America allowing the girls in there. Okay. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't want to. I'm allowed to have my beliefs. You're allowed to have your beliefs. We can all talk and have a discussion. Maybe try to make me understand. Maybe the Girl Scouts were falling somewhere along the line and they should have done something different. And they wanted that out of protest. I don't know. It's the same with the military. Another road I'm not going to go down right now. I've always been told, talk about things you know, avoid the ones you don't. So, anyhow, we're going to go ahead and take these parsley potatoes, stick them on the side. We've got the onions. I'm just going to put them in the pork here. I don't want to go too far off base on this racism thing because it seems that, I've said this before, and this came to me by a very good dear friend of mine, Cheryl Friedman. The Republicans all to get together. I'm not making this all political, but everybody knows I'm diehard. It is what it is. She said, the Republicans always eat their young. The Democrats always rally around each other, and it's the truth. But to watch them in the last couple days is about popcorn worthy as it gets. Because, well, we're not going to go after you killing a kid, but you throwing a hood on or black paint on your face, whew, now we're talking. Now you've done something so horrific that you need to take everything you've worked for your entire life and just walk away from it. Is it right or wrong? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's what the Democrats have been saying. I'm not walking on or walking back on that whole thing. Do I feel that he needs to step down? Hell yes! But not only because of what he did, 40 years ago, 30 years ago. It's about his mindset and where he's at as far as killing children. He's okay with that. He doubled down on that. And then you get up and you get confronted with something you've done all these years ago. And you lie about it? Come on. Lie, evade, deflect. Total Democrat handbook. What I'm sharing with you, Dems, catch up, mustard. Get on a different path, because it's apparently not working. When you can't decide one good candidate, you got to just, it's like marbles right now. 52 pickup. I don't know, but it's going to be a whole game of whack-a-mole. This next election is going to be the best one yet. I guarantee it. It's going to be fun. You got people in the GOP that are still never Trump, still to this day, still never Trumpers. Mitt Romney's one of them. He needs to wake up a little bit. But anyhow, it's funny. This is a show like I said, popcorn. Send me popcorn, because I'm going to be eating tons of it over this next election. I'm going to need that fuel. Elections, we know what elections do to us. So I use 4 little potatoes, only because it's just my husband and I. But you can make as many as you want. People are coming up the driveway. Anywho, so I'm going to put these in real quick. And I'm going to get these done. I'm going to go ahead and stuff these little pork loins, and we'll be good to go. Alrighty then. This is so much fun. Anybody that's ever been to my house when I have something going on, this is where I'm at. I'm either here or serving out in the yard, especially in the winter, in the summertime. So, and it's always talking. I love it when somebody else is here. So, in the future, anybody that's local, you're coming in, and I'm also going to have folks that are going to be chiming in too. We're not going to do every show like this. This is a lot of fun though. This is definitely a lot of fun. Where am I at? Okay, so I'm going to take these onions and I'm going to lay them on the bottom. Just putting them on the bottom. And you can see that if you can't. We're going to go ahead and lay them on the bottom. And that's just going to give it some extra flavor. I'm going to take both of these guys. I'm going to rinse my hands off real quick. And I'm going to take both these guys and I'm going to douse them with some Hickey Bottom barbecue rub. I have salt, I have pepper, I have all these fun things in my house. But anytime I'm working with meat, especially stews, soups, anything else like that, I always douse, kind of rub it in there, the Hickey Bottom barbecue rub. And then we're going to, at the end, you'll see what we're going to do there too. So you just kind of like rub it in, kind of gives it that added flavor. And then if you want, just add a little bit more on the inside. That gives you, that's a Hickey Bottom barbecue rub. And you can find that at Walmart. And if you're not local, go on HickeyBottomBarbecue.com. And you're going to go directly to the link at Walmart. If you go on Walmart's link, you can get it right there too. So, anywho, yeah, just go on the website. You can order it right off of there. She's got the Hickey Bottom barbecue rub, hot sauce, which is awesome. No GMOs, gluten-free. It's all natural, no high fructose syrup, so none of the crap stuff's in it. And of course, you don't have that carrageenan stuff in there. But you have like turmeric and really good spices and things like that, all good stuff. Now, if you do have a fish allergy, read the labels. That's the only thing I'm going to say on that one. certain products, but there's honey, there's sweet, and there's hot, which I love. We're going to use the honey today on these guys. So before we get started, this is the fun part. So my husband doesn't like the stems. I always use fresh spinach, whether it's coming out of my garden or you can get it at Whole Foods, Walmart, any store that you go to, Kroger's, Publix, what other ones are out there? Food Lion, you name it, your grocery store has it. Save a lot, save nothing, who knows. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these leaves and we're going to stack them on each other. This is the easiest way to do that so you don't have all the stems, even though I like them. And if I make anything in the morning, especially with my omelets, you'll see that in there. Take them like this, and you're just going to take a pair of scissors and cut the stems off. And then we just layer them in there, just like this. Most of the time I take pictures as I'm going along, which I'm not going to do this time. You're going to have it on the video. So that's what it looks like when it's layered, okay? And then we're going to take the cheese. Now, I'm not going to put any cheese on mine because, well, you know what? Let's do it. Put a little bit. This is low fat. I've gone to an allergist before, but I think let's get a little personal here. I'm always out. So what I've noticed is changes in my body in the last couple of years. I went through that perimenopause stuff where, oh my gosh, did I go crazy and everybody else around me. I didn't know if I was up, down, this, that, the other, what was going on. Hot flashes, the whole bit. As long as I ate tofu or soy protein in the middle, no problems. But as soon as I stopped, holy emotions. With that came some other little tummy problems and things. So I thought, well, maybe it's gluten, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. I was breaking out, and I quit dairy and I quit all that stuff. Well, it continued. So it got to the point where no matter what I ate, I was still having these kind of problems. So I'm like, do I not eat anymore? Now that wasn't a case that was going to fend well in my life because I love food. So I'm reintroducing dairy a little bit by little bit just to see if that genuinely is the problem. But anywho, with that being said, we'll see how I do. If not, just don't put that on there. Put a little bit more of that Hickey Bottom barbecue sauce on there. And then what we're going to do is take some of the sauce. I'm going to put it in a little pan like this. And then I'm just going to take a little brush and I'm going to brush the outsides just a little bit, just for a little bit of taste. With the Hickey Bottom barbecue sauce, gives it a little bit of extra added flavor because pork, they always say it's the other white meat, but it's a heavier, thicker meat. And what I mean by that, it takes a long time to digest. It's like venison, any kind of wild game, because it's very muscular, even though pork is rather fatty. These pork loins have a lot of meat and muscle is basically what you're eating. So it takes around 17 hours to digest versus maybe chicken and other things that are not as hard to digest. So just add some more flavor. And we're going to pop that in the oven. Uncovered. We're going to turn those guys down. We're going to actually take them off the burner for a second, let them rest for a minute, and then I'll go ahead and take the rest of it out. And we'll put some oil, because I don't use butter, on my potatoes, and put the parsley on there. We're good to go. And we're going to go back to some hot topics. Adam Levine, we've talked about racism, and we talked about food. Now, here's an interesting fact I want people to think about. There's, reading labels. That's going to be my next show, because what I have found, and I was just given the information the other day from my son-in-law's mother, Debbie. If you're watching, I shared this with you. I would do a lot of investigating on this, and I have. There's a certain product There's a video that she had sent me about a gentleman that said he was in love with his kids, loved his kids, would do anything in the world for them. But he had noticed while he was sitting there, he's a contractor, and he was sitting there reading the labels of his children's cereal box, and he came across an ingredient, and had he not been a contractor, he's a painter, he would never have understood what this really meant, and it's Trisodium Phosphate. Now, phosphate is something that we find naturally in the ground and different things like that. It's a mineral. However, Trisodium Phosphate is something that these contractors use to get rid of paint. And it disintegrates things, and they sell it in these packets. So this is being put on cereal. And I thought, well, somebody along the lines had to have known that there was something up with this if they're selling that product on the store shelves to take care of these contractors and use it as a harsh ingredient. Somebody would have had to have seen that, and they did. And our trusted, and I say trusted, FDA has stated that acceptable amounts of this ingredient are okay in low doses. I'll buy that, right? You know, the FDA, the government, they've never lied to us at all to push anything. So it's used as a preservative, something to hold things together in their ingredients and cereals. This is the fun part. Take a piece of paper and a pen out, and this is what I'm going to share with you. Not only is it Trisodium Phosphate, but look for Disodium Phosphate. These are two ingredients I'm going to share with you that are found in, ready? Cereal, soda, canned meats, lunch meat, canned sauces, cheese sauce, things like that, cheese, period, and anything that you would think about, salt and different things holding them together. So there's an array of products, right? So think about this. Prepackaged. We're always hearing about these prepackaged, preservative-free preservatives in here. Well, there's a reason for it. I know when I was growing up, I never had a problem with anything. No allergies to nuts, or, I mean, I literally would go down to our garden. We fed what we ate. I grew up on a farm. We fed what we ate. And what I mean by that is we grew our own food. We fed it to the animals. We butchered the animals. We were farm to table. That's how I grew up. When I started going to the grocery store, when I was almost a teenager, we started eating boxed foods. It was horrible. I gained weight, and my system wasn't good. I started getting all these allergies, and I think it was because I was introducing crappy stuff into my body. I had no vaccinations, never been vaccinated, and I grew up on a farm where I had needles or not needles, but nails and things like that, and they would always, anytime I broke a bone, which I've broken a lot over the years, horseback riding and doing stupid stuff, jumping over chairs in airports and what have you. If you followed me, you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, they always ask me, would you like a tetanus shot? No, got one a few years ago. They don't check, but I'm scared of them. I'm scared of putting that kind of stuff into my body. And I think that's what's really helped me over the last 20 years, or hindered me. Because when I eat off of the way that I normally do, I see a difference in my body, and I've got to watch these preservatives. So thank you, Debbie, for bringing this up, because what I'm going to share with you next is going to blow your mind. So the FDA, our trusted government, of course, we got to love them, hug them, believe them, everything they say. Not. So their acceptance to this ingredient, one, this is the only one I'm going to talk about today, other than the carrageenan, and there's others that we're going to talk about next. This is very simple. Your food is killing you. High fructose syrup, we know that. Hickey Bottom Barbecue doesn't have it in there because she knows that. That promotes high fructose corn syrup, promotes diabetes, heart disease, obesity. Period. Those three, plus many others, we don't need to go any further, right? So let's get back to Trisodium Phosphate, Disodium Phosphate. So we know they're found in lunch meats, canned sauces, tuna. Some tunas, you got to look at the packaging, read your labels. Cereal, soda, cheese. Come on, let's just look at your labels. So what the FDA doesn't disclose outwardly, but if you go on the internet and you look it up, because nobody reads books anymore, right? Anywho, go look it up. So here's the fun thing. This Trisodium Phosphate and Disodium Phosphate, they are very dangerous drugs to people that already have diseases. Now let me share with you, if you have diabetes, any type of heart ailment, any type of kidney ailment, you cannot go near this stuff. Can't go near it. So think about that for a second. Just think about the products that I shared with you and what you're not allowed to go towards and why they would not benefit you. Is it because of the fat content? Is it because of the sugar content? Or is it because of the trisodium phosphate, the disodium phosphate that's in it? It's one ingredient because it's always paired with a whole bunch of other things. Nobody knows what they're eating, correct? I've always said this as a rule of thumb. If it has more than 5 ingredients in it and you have to go look it up, don't touch it. Don't eat it. Now, there are certain things out there that are a great ingredient. Of course, we know if you could pull something off the shelf like, oh, here's another one, folks. I totally forgot. Boxed pastas. Trisodium phosphate, disodium phosphate. And you wonder why we have problems in this country. So we're going to go back to the clean eating, healthy living, all kinds of fun stuff. My website, go on noexcusesonlysolutions.com right now. We're transferring everything from triciacunningham.com to there. Sign-ups are going to be tomorrow, starting tomorrow. We've got a fresh new look. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm going to do personal coaching. I'm going to do group coaching. I'm going back at it, back on the trail. Personal one-on-one, anywhere in the world. That's what the internet's for. That's what a phone call's for. Thank you very much, Al Gore and Alexander Graham Bell. There you are. So with that, I can help you anywhere you're at. I do unlimited coaching. I do per month. No less than 3. 30 days is not enough to even think about breaking a habit. You need that 90-day threshold. It takes 90 days to go through a rehab center to where you're okay. When you're changing a job, 90-day trial period. When you move, you have to take 90 days to get acclimated, with your territory, your school districts, your utility companies, and your neighbors. It's a 90-day rule. At this point, you're breaking that habit. Remember the old habit, the crossing your arms thing? Does anybody remember that? If you cross your arms, we do it the same way all of our life. If we want to do it a different way, it takes a couple seconds for us to do it unless we have an incentive, which we're going to talk about. So reading labels, eating healthier, getting healthier, mindset, and of course, breaking bad habits. I can help you whether you need to quit smoking, you want to lose weight, you want to change a career path, something else is happening in, everyday relationships. I'm there for you. I'm not a psychiatrist, not writing pills, don't take them. Not a psychologist, don't need to deal with the stuff that's happened in the back. Acknowledge it, move on. We're not grabbing that garbage bag and moving forward. So, so those are the key points. As a life coach, as a weight loss coach, I'm going to get you energized. I'm going to get you all excited. We're going to set a plan in motion. I had somebody today, and I'm sending a big hug out to you. You know who you are, that said that she was so inspired she got on her treadmill today. Well, I'm going to share with you, Miss, you know who you are. I pulled my little bike out that's been sitting there as a clothes rack for the last 2 years, probably 3. Because I've been working on these campaigns, and I had at it. So thank you for inspiring me, because I needed to do that. Springtime came a little bit faster than what I thought. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and check on our little stuffed pork right now, which is coming along beautifully. We've got about another 10-15 minutes, which we're good. We still have some time. And just remember, I want you to know that I'm here to help you, help yourself. I go get my book all day long. Go get the Reverse Diet. I have it sitting around here. Of course, it's going to come up backwards. It's so funny. Could we have written the Reverse Diet in reverse? Reverse Diet, you can get the hard copy. You can get the paperback Kindle. They have digital. I don't know how those come out. You can order those right off of my website. It just ships you to Amazon. You can get it at Walmart, bookstores, Barnes & Nobles, where have you. I do not have any copies with me presently, but if you do want an autograph signed one, just get a hold of me on the website and I'll get you one. It takes a little bit longer, but hey, we're good there. But yeah, go to noexcusesonlysolutions.com and get registered on there. I got a free email list. I will never sell or share with anybody. Y'all know that. And we'll get you healthier, eating tips, menus, recipes, all those kind of sample things throughout the week. And I'm also going to have a members only group where if you are a client, Or if you want additional information, I'm going to have recipes. I have over 5,000. I can help you with any recipes that you want to make healthier. There was a great book that came out years ago, Eat This, Not That. I thought that was revolutionary. It was just absolutely wonderful. So with that, I just kind of like incorporated, give me any recipe, I can pick it apart and make it a healthier version of it. Like lasagna, for instance. I have recipes for that in my book. I have over 100 in there. Great co-author, Heidi Skolnick. She was amazing, and she helped me in so many different ways. One food that I was afraid to eat because I thought it was giving me anxiety because I thought there was so much sugar in it was a banana. I have one every day now. You know, so she taught me a lot. She taught me a lot of things. And she said to me one day, she's like, Tricia, you're never going to gain 150 pounds by eating a banana every day. That's not what happened. I had, you know, issues with food, which I've had some folks share with me the same thing. Nobody wakes up in the morning, looks in the mirror and says, hey, I want to gain 150 pounds. I'm going to start right now. There's always something that led up to that. Let's go ahead and identify that. Let's see where you're at and move forward. And that's something I've been doing for 20 years, which is a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, the success rates, just a lot of fun. But don't ever think that you're just gonna buy this book and you're gonna have it in your hand and you're gonna look in the mirror and boom, all the weight's gone. It's not gonna happen. You have to transform yourself from within. And I've said this since day one. From here up, weight loss is 90% from the neck up. The extra 10% is motivation, education, support, and skill building. That's my MESS program. So, and I've been working on that for the last 15 years in schools and community outreach and hospitals and groups and companies and things like that. I have a great MESS program to get everybody energized and right on track. So, been doing this a long time. So let's go ahead and check on these potatoes. I've got my trusted little strainer guy here, and the scissors went. Told you I'd be dropping stuff in here, and I'm surprised the tank hasn't showed up. So let's go ahead and drain the potatoes. So we're going to take the drained potatoes, we're going to stick them over here. Take my olive oil. I don't use extra virgin olive oil anymore like I used to because I cook with it a lot, and the higher temperatures it just burns easy, and it's not as flavorful, and it's actually better for you than the extra virgin. And you'll see that on the shelves. Everybody's extra virgin olive oil. Well, it's a good game, peeps. It's a good game. So we're going to go ahead and take that, put that in there. I'm going to take some garlic powder. I love garlic powder. It's like one of my favorites, right? We're going to put that all over there. And then instead of parsley, we're going to use some basil. Now basil, the reason I use this later at night is because it's a sweeter flavor, and it's awesome. But basil, I love my fresh basil, but I used it all, or gave it all away this year. So basil actually is very sweet and also calms you. So later on in the day, you want something that is going to be just calming and relaxing. Basil is just an amazing herb. So we'll go ahead and just stir this a little bit. I'm going to let this hang out. I don't use any added salt or anything else like that. I let everybody put that to their own taste. My husband's not a big salt eater. He likes the flavors. And if I do use anything, it's a good time to just use the Hickey Bottom barbecue rub, right? There's salt and pepper in there. He's a big pepper guy. Stir that around. And we have a few more minutes. How cool is that? We'll just put that back on the burner there. It'll hang out. I love cast iron, by the way. You'll see me cooking a lot with that. Put this in here. And we're about good. So that wasn't too bad. We're getting ready to plate here. I've got to try this because I didn't even get a chance yet, right? It's so good. Oh my gosh. Blueberries, bananas, orange. You don't even taste the tofu. You don't even know it's there, right? Did you hear my husband though when I told him, oh yeah, you didn't even know the tofu was there? You should see my grandma. The first Christmas after I lost the weight, I lost over 170 pounds in 9 months. This started August 28th of 1999. And by Christmas of that year, I had lost a significant amount of weight. I went from a 24 to a 9 and then just kind of teeter off from December until March. So the really cool part is I lost almost 100 pounds just in those 4 months, which was extraordinary. It was all on my diet, all on my food, all that I was eating. I went from 10,000 milligrams of sodium a day that I didn't even know that I was eating back then to, 2,000 and less, if that. So long story short, I put the first meal for Thanksgiving on, and I used tofu and cauliflower for my mashed potatoes. Nobody knew. Nobody. And I wrote about this in my book. It's one of the fun stories. There's lots of stories in there. It's not your typical diet book where, okay, it's plan 1, plan B, blah, blah, blah. It's there, don't get me wrong, but it's not the main focus of it. It's, making yourself whole again, identifying, making a pie for your whole life, and just lots of fun stuff. And you don't read it from front to back by any means whatsoever. There's a cool thing called an index in the back, and you can just figure it out. You want recipes, or you want that, or you don't have weight to lose. You just want to be eating healthier. You want quick meals, because I'm a quick person. You've seen how fast this is. Normally I'm not talking when I'm doing this, and it's boom, 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 one right after another. Something's going on. So anyhow, I lost all this weight, right? And I'm making all these different recipes, and my family doesn't realize I'm putting tofu in there. And how I found out about tofu all those years ago, because you didn't really hear about it a lot, was I was looking for alternatives for protein. I started going down a vegan path, and then I'm thinking, I grew up slaughtering cows and pigs for food. How can I just go from one to another? So I started looking into the healthier alternatives, beans, legumes, nuts, and of course I found tofu. And what I found out about tofu is it was so versatile, and I could use it in so many different things, and it was so beneficial that I started incorporating it in just about everything that my family ate. They just didn't know it. Unfortunately, my grandmother passed away in 2003 and never got to see my book. So she passed away not knowing that she had eaten tofu before she left. But it was one of those things that her whole family found out about. It is what it's got some really crazy stories. And my kids, I mean, God love them. Could you imagine being my children having to grow up in Myrtle Beach with their mom being the diet guru? Poor things. Remember their friends' moms would always call me and ask, are the kids allowed to eat pizza while they're staying over? I'm like, no, they're not allowed to eat it all. Nothing. It's a joke, complete joke. But yeah, I think one of the most rebellious things that my children did when they were getting older and going to other folks' homes were drinking soda, because we never had it at the house. I never allowed caffeine, none of that stuff. And oh gosh, when I traveled, pizza. Oh my Lord, it was pizza. I came home to pizza boxes in the house. I wanted to kill my husband. But those things they grew up with no sugar and flour and all that kind of stuff in the closets. As I got older and not as strict and understood some other alternatives, that became a little bit less stringent and a little bit more lenient. And, I started incorporating different spices. And like I said, Hickey Bottom Barbecue, God love her. Becky McCrae became one of my closest friends. And it was happenstance that I met her when I was working for the radio station. And she just has an excellent product. Woman in business, America. It's made right here in America. How cool is that? But great, flavorful. Saves me an hour. I used to make my own barbecue sauce. And when I saw this and just the ingredients, and then I found out it was gluten-free on top of it after I'd already loved it, it was awesome. And yes, this is a plug, a total plug. Because I want you to enjoy the same things I'm enjoying. And I love her. And I love this product. It's just amazing. So again, you can find that at Walmart. Or you can find it on HickeyBottomBarbecue.com. And just look it up. Hickey Bottom Barbecue Sauce. Spun on Steve Harvey. Just beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. So I'm going to check these guys here real quick. See where we're at. We probably only have a couple more minutes. I hope you enjoyed this show. Nope. I am not on stage. I don't want to be Rachel Ray by any means whatsoever. However, if you do want to sponsor, you do have a product, I'm always open to it. You can get a hold of me on the contact form at noexcusesonlysolutions.com, and I'll take a look at it. And like, I did not use products. I did not use gimmicks or shakes or what have you when I was losing my weight. That's my personal preference. And can you do it that way? Absolutely. Is it hard? No. But there are other people out there, and I know this, that might need that extra boost or might need this or might need, and I'm open to all of that. The reverse diet is my plan of what I did, and it worked, and it's worked for thousands of people. And do I think it's a great plan? Absolutely. So does the American Heart Association, the American Dietetic Association, Dr. Oz, the doctors. It's been endorsed by so many different great organizations, and the reason being is you can have a perfectly healthy person, a child, newborn to grave. I'm going to be able to help you with this. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing bad with it. And it can be fully diverse for anybody or any ailment. If you have thyroid conditions, if you have heart conditions, if you have diabetes, anything that you have, gout, we can mend this or expand it or do whatever we can. And I can help you. I can help actually work with your doctors or your dietitians too as well. And nutritionists. I've done that for many, many years. So it doesn't matter what plan you're on, I can help you and work with you. So if you are a guru out there and you're selling Thrive or this or whatever, and you want to come on board here and get on my site, just get a hold of me. And I have no problem sharing things with other folks that potentially could help them. Is it a complete endorsement? As long as I make sure that there's nothing that's going to hurt somebody, I would love to have you on too, on the show. So I'm there. I'm working with you. And oh, here's one thing. The keto diet, I know a lot of people are on that. I'm not going to bash anybody. I'm not. Just remember two things. One, the book says it's a 30-day plan for a reason. And you have to evolve from it. It's a great jumpstart for some people. I'm not a big person on eating bacon morning, noon, and night and excess fats and things like that. It's just everything's in balance, and anything's a quick fix is actually, it's not. It's like putting duct tape over, a radiator hose. Eventually it's going to melt off and you're going to have those same problems you had in the beginning. However, keto people, this meal tonight, take the potatoes away. There you go. That's all I got to say. It's that easy. So I'm not singling keto out because there's a lot of other ones, but this is a high protein, low carb dish, other than the drink that we had earlier. But the insulin levels, because my husband's an insulin diabetic and he can do that and he's okay with that. I know how many carbohydrates he has to have throughout the day, but not everybody does. Not everybody knows how to work with that. So if you are diabetic, please get a hold of me. I can work with you on that. And your coaches, because there's a lot of doctors that say, hey, go talk to the dietitian, and you're lucky you have enough time to go see your regular doctor. But there's a lot of great plans out there. So this is really looking good. So we have about 3 more minutes. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, that is so perfect. Look at that. My little babies. All right. So we started the show here a couple minutes late, so we're going to go on to that. And then I'm going to go ahead and plate this. How cool. This was so cool. This was so easy, right? Good thing you're here when I'm making lasagna. Boy, is that fun. That's a do not disturb. Computer goes off, phone goes off. I'm in my zone. I love to cook. It's just a lot of fun. And I love showing people. We did my daughter's, if anybody's on here that was here for the baby shower this summer, which was amazing. And I love all you ladies that showed up and just gave her a great time. But I was putting these pinwheels together and I was not prepared for everybody when they were coming over. I just kind of did it as they were showing up, and we all kind of got together and did it and drank mimosas and had some fun. We had a lot of good fun. But that's what I love about this place. And y'all are welcome, you want to come and chit chat, you want to pick a subject, we're good to go. We're going to eventually work up to 5 days a week. Again, I am breaking that time. I'm kind of organizing myself now, trying to decide after the last election, what was I going to do? Where was I going to go? And what did I really want to do? And I get to do both, which was amazing. Who wakes up in the morning and says, hey, I want to do this and I want to live my life this way. And the people that want to do it will do it. And I've been a big proponent of write it down, make it happen. One of my favorite books out there. and God love you. So I love talking politics. I love talking about life, sharing my views, listening to your views. And hey, there's been some certain things in life where I've changed mine or looked at it from a different perspective. And that's kind of what we're doing, is chew on this. Here's the subject. Let's broach it. Let's kind of lay it out on the table and not stand back and say this can't be talked about, or let's not even go there. I want to bring these issues up because if we don't talk about it, it's just going to boil over. Like I said, this governor, he from Virginia, come on. It's not killing babies that's going to take him out. It's a picture that he took back in 1984 that was allowed in that yearbook. And I'm not. Before I get thrown under the bus on this, I'm not saying it was okay. I'm saying they said it was okay in 84, but it's not okay now. But you can't take back the past. Did he, he is a racist. I'm going to say that. So how did he get in office in the first place? It wasn't over that one picture that made this man the way that he was. And did he change along the way? That's kind of where I would have gone had I been his media people. Not, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Call Ellen, let me get on her council, let me say I'm sorry to everybody, let me be better, let me do things better. You know what? I'm going to step aside. You're absolutely right, because it's not the only time he's done something like that. I'm going to share that with you. So instead of doing all of that and having a really good team behind him or with him, he said, oh no, that wasn't you. No. All those other pictures that are around you is you. But that nickname that they gave you, you didn't know anything about it. And that's not you. They can't tell it's you. It's not you. Are you kidding me? Seriously? I fell above my head. I'll believe that all day long. No, acknowledge, take it up and say, hey, you know what? Yes, it happened. It was 1984. I've changed my ways. I've changed my views. And this is what I want to do for the great state of Virginia. I apologize for something I did all those years, but this is what I've done to rectify that or to not be that person. But apparently, I don't know what is wrong with some of these people. At the end of the day, I just don't get it. If you've done it, acknowledge it, deal with it, and move on. Do something better. There's so many different things he could have done better about that. And then you've got, seriously, I want to know who this is. Then you got his next guy, Fairfax, right behind him, who, out of the blue, this woman is claiming that he did something to her 15 years ago. But the third person in line's a Republican. Just remember that. Just remember that, folks. How blessed he lost, I don't know. So you're going to tell me that this guy was just found out that he was a racist, that they didn't have anything on him beforehand. But we're going down that road again. You could kill a baby, but don't talk about a picture that you took. Neither one of them's right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, folks, there you have it. It'll be done. It's awesome. We're going to go ahead and stick this little guy here. And then we're going to plate. How beautiful. Oh yes, I'm definitely going to take a picture. Can you see this? This is so good. We're going to take these onions. Be sure not to hit that there. Stick these on the sides here. And that's something too, I just want to share with you, is when we're talking about gut health, onions, garlic, yogurt, all good for your gut. Sauerkraut. Yes. All good fun stuff. Did you see? I'm putting the onions with the dairy. How fun. And I apologize. I don't have my granny glasses on right now. We're just lucky I got clothes on today. Remember that whole debacle? Holy crap. Still can't get over that. I still say I felt good. I look good. Whatever. Get over it. I could have pulled an Adam Levine, but I didn't. Maybe he'll be my... No. Let's not go there. So, that still kills me. It's not appropriate. Not appropriate for who? I thought it... Hey, Kardashians can do it. These models all over the world can do it, but because I'm involved in politics, I can't wear a bikini in the snow. I remember that when I'm wearing a muumuu and a paper bag over my head on the beach this summer. just to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. Weird. For God's sakes. Now, if I was 300 pounds doing that, I don't know. I guess to each his own, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't be doing it. All right, folks. So, oh, cool. So here we are. That's what's for dinner tonight. We have the, well, it's basil, supposedly, potatoes, the onions that were cooked with our pork loin stuffed with cheese and spinach. Smells good. We gotta wait 1 second. And my husband's gonna come in because I just rang the doorbell, our dinner bell. And here we go. He's gonna be so excited. This stuff is so good. Again, that was orange juice, coconut milk, and you don't have to use either one of them. You could use regular milk, tofu, put anything in there. 30 seconds, you saw how quick it was. I had put some blueberries, tofu, orange juice, and a banana, and some coconut milk. Straight coconut milk, remember? Get rid of the carrageenan. It's awesome. 30 seconds, it's good. Actually better than good. It's amazing. It just puts you into the Caribbean. How cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna plate this for Sean. He's gonna sit down and eat. Folks, I'm looking for ideas. I'm looking for guests. I have some that are gonna be coming on, some really cool ones, you know who you are, and some people that you're going to recognize no matter what part of this beautiful world that you live in. And we're going to do all kinds of different formats. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to having you come into my home and sharing my life with you, you sharing your life with me, and we're going to talk about everything from cheeseburgers to politics, everything in between and beyond on Chew on This with Tricia Cunningham. Till next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless you. And don't forget, Hickey Bottom Barbecue. And I will see you next week.